CBS News has obtained a Justice Department memo directing local authorities to enact the Trump administration's immigration policies. It also threatens to prosecute any state and local officials who refuse to do so. The memo reads in part, quote, federal law prohibits state and local actors from resisting, obstructing, and otherwise failing to comply with lawful immigration-related commands and requests. The U.S. Attorney's offices and litigating components of the Department of Justice shall investigate incidents involving any such misconduct for potential prosecution. CBS News has obtained a Justice Department memo directing local authorities to enact the Trump administration's immigration policies. It also threatens to prosecute any state and local officials who refuse to do so. The memo reads in part, quote, federal law prohibits state and local actors from resisting, obstructing, and otherwise failing to comply with lawful immigration-related commands and requests. The U.S. Attorney's offices and litigating components of the Department of Justice shall investigate incidents involving any such misconduct for potential prosecution. Scott Fredericksen joins us now. He's a former federal prosecutor and independent counsel. Thank you for being here with us on this. Is this in line or out of step with a traditional role of the Justice Department?
Well, initial indications, Lindsay, is that it's more than out of step. It's a sea change. This may be lost in the avalanche of executive orders, but this appears on its face to move the Department of Justice squarely away from its historical independence into an arm of the White House to enforce its policy here with respect to immigration. So this represents a major change in the way that the Department of Justice conducts its business. It's always prided itself on having a buffer from the White House, but here it's being told we want every line prosecutor, experienced federal criminal prosecutors, to go after and look at investigating and potentially charging state and local governments who do not agree to enforce the federal law as the White House sees it on immigration. So this represents a major change from an institutional perspective. And the other part is that, first of all, there's no law that requires state and local governments to assist in enforcement of federal laws, whether it be immigration, bank robbery, or fraud, or whatever. And the court has made that clear. This memo seems to contradict that. It seems to say that it is the duty of every line criminal prosecutor to go out there, investigate, and charge state and local officials if they see fit.
Do you imagine then that this will be challenged?
Well, I think this is going to be a challenge very quickly as soon as they try to take any action on terms of the policy. But Lindsay, what's difficult here is the direction to the U.S. attorney's offices throughout the country that you shall go out and investigate. You shall criminally prosecute individuals who don't agree to go along with or support this federal new initiative of the new administration. And that's not something that can be challenged so easily, not to mention that the threat of a criminal investigation and federal prison time is a huge burden for officials throughout our country.
Well, we do have other topics we want to get to you with as well. On his first day, President Trump, as we know, pardoned more than 1,500 January 6 defendants. This was the largest investigation in DOJ history. Are you hearing anything about whether that's moved the needle in terms of morale among the rank and file?
Well, the morale among rank and file, based on my small sampling, is horrendous. These pardons were including pardons of the most violent offenders, people who attack cops, who are trying to kill cops. And these people have been set free. It's one thing to set free people who did it peacefully or ended up on site and disagreed with the policy, thought they wanted the president to remain in the office. It's another thing to pardon violent cop attackers. This has made the morale among the Department of Justice prosecutors, agents, to a new low. Added to the fact that we've seen several high-level career officials at the highest level in the Department of Justice reassigned to meaningless duties. These are people that have the respect of long-term FBI agents, DEI agents, the prosecutors out in the field. They know and trust the judgment of these individuals. And these people have been removed from the office, and they're going to be replaced by, political appointees. So morale probably never been lower.
All right, Scott Fredericksen, appreciate you joining us.